Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shishimad Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramamsa Paridhya Shri Shishimad Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Guru Vaishnavamani Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Brahmsiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaur Bhaktavan Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govanan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navri Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Ki Jai. Bhakti Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtanya Ki Jai. Ganandana Shimad Bhaguram Ki Jai. Samaved Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Nidai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asuchana Vasudesvam Pragyavadam Cha Vasate Katashuna Katashumcha Nanusachanti Pandita. Translation. The Blessed Lord said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Purported by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, you are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As it will be explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the control of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology. But he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul and the Supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this actually is learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. Om Gyantarinannasya Jnana Shalakya Chikshanamridamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So this is the shloka from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is the ancient science of self-realization. Okay. We're actually trying to enjoy on a false platform. We think that I'm this body. I am man, woman, ugly, beautiful, tall, small, Canadian, Chinese. This is all nonsense. Complete misunderstanding. We are actually not this body. Deinosmin yatadi komar yovanam jara tatadihantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyanti. As the embodied soul passes through childhood, teenagehood, adulthood, old age, similarly the soul passes to another body at the time of death. This is the first understanding of knowledge. Prabhupada says, knowledge means to understand the difference between matter and spirit and the control of both. This is the real knowledge. See, this is what we have to understand. Simply understanding about the body, about the material, that will not satisfy anyone. That will not satisfy anyone. Just like the body is completely useless when the spirit leaves the body. The same body, a beautiful girl, a beautiful boy. As soon as the spirit is out, the consciousness is out, you don't want to be near that body. So we're not attracted to the body. We don't deal with the body. We're dealing with the consciousness which makes the body active. This is very important. In our present so-called civilization, we put so much emphasis on the body, but we have no understanding of what makes the body working. What is that active principle in the body which makes all our activities? So, Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, has brought this very valuable knowledge from the ancient India. This is the message from the ancient sages like Srila Vyasadeva to the modern world. Srila Prabhupada has brought the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Purana, which is predicted. Srila Vyasadeva says that this Bhagavat Purana, this book here, will bring the light to the people of this particular age. See, the Vedas, actually it's not a belief, it's not a religion, it's very scientific. Whatever knowledge we have right now, even in McGill University, Concordia, whatever, is derived from the Vedas. The Vedas, the word Veda is not sectarian. The Veda means knowledge. Knowledge is not sectarian. Knowledge doesn't mean that now knowledge is for me and some other knowledge is for you. No. Faith, that might be like that. We might have different faiths. But when we speak of knowledge, that must be universal. Just like 1 + 1 is 2. That is the same for a Buddhist, for a Christian, for a Muslim, doesn't matter. That's real knowledge. You can pass this through. So, this very valuable knowledge, it is very difficult for us to penetrate this materialistic society because no one understands. This whole society is based on the body. It is very difficult for us to penetrate. Actually, this should be taught at university. Very important knowledge. There's so many departments. You have the anthropology, you have philosophy, even religion. But if you ask them, what makes the body working? They do not know. They say, oh, this is Department of Religion, Faith, something. But no, this is actually scientific. Just like you had a body of a small girl in the past. That body is no longer here. All the material elements are gone, finished from that small body. Now your body is completely different. You have a completely different body. But although your body of a small girl is gone, finished, you're still here. You're not gone. You have not gone anywhere. You're eternal. You're eternal. The body changes, but you, the spirit soul in the body, you're constantly here with us. And that is why we have the experience of life. Because we're conscious. We're not dead stones. We're not just machines, some dead, insentient objects. We're conscious. And that's why we can observe the changes of the body. So here, Krishna, when we say Krishna, it means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is not a Hindu god. Krishna is not a womanizer. Krishna is not some kind of a concoction, fantasy. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Everyone speaks of God. God, our Creator, and this and that. So, if I'm really interested in the subject matter of God, I should inquire, who is God? There's so many religions, so much talk about God. But if you ask anyone, who is God? Can you give me a definition? Who is God? Creator, Father, this is not sufficient. The Father, any Father is a creator. Right? Any Father is a creator. He creates sons. Is he God? No. He's the Supreme Creator. But that is not sufficient. What is His form? What is His form? I have a form. You have a form. God doesn't have a form? What kind of God is that? It's a nonsense God. Incomplete. So, from the Vedas, we have a very nice definition of God. God is everything within our experience, everything beyond our experience. Absolute, unlimited, complete. There cannot be anything that is not included in God. Right? There's so many people that want to exclude. Like, oh, it's just for Christians, it's just for Muslims, it's just for Hindus. Want to exclude. So God is not like that. God is just like the sun. Sun is shining on everyone, regardless whether someone believes in the sun or not. Sun is shining on everyone. Similarly, God includes everyone. And because I have a form, I have a personality, I have my pleasure, I have my individuality, I have my friends, I have my parents. Krishna must also have all these things. Right? So we're not saying that to give up your particular religion or your philosophy or knowledge, but make it plus Krishna. Plus Krishna. Just like there's so many zeros. But if we have one, and all these zeros, they turn into 1,000, 1,000,000, 100,000, and so on and so on. Right? So this material knowledge is just like zeros. Zeros. There's no reason, no meaning. This body is temporary. We'll have to leave this body very soon, very soon. Just like we're young at a certain point. But time passes so fast. Hey, all of a sudden I'm 30 years old. Right? So similarly, very soon we're going to face that moment. Oh my God, that's it. I'm going. That's it, finito. My bank balance, my family, my friends, kiss goodbye. Right? So what is the use of accumulating material assets and material knowledge? There's no use in that. That will not help us to solve the real problem. Why am I supposed to die? See? We should not blindly follow. Yes, okay, we should do like that, or everyone is doing like that. No, I'm a conscious being. I don't want to die. It's unnatural. Why should I die? Let me solve this. Let me solve this great problem. All the other problems are connected to this main problem of facing death. Why people are worried about terrorists. Right now there's a big mania, paranoia, the terrorists, the war, Iraq, Iran, this, that, and that. Why? Because we think, I'm the body, and if my body is finished, I'm finished. Right? So a self-realized yogi, a real yogi, not a nonsense gymnastic yoga performer who charges $1 million for a course downtown in Montreal, but a real yogi who's following the authorized yoga system based on the Vedic scriptures. We cannot concoct anything, just like if you want to learn how to operate on people, if you want to know how to do a surgery. If you speculate on your own, I will not agree to undergo an operation under you. I will not agree. But if you go to an authorized institution, let's say McGill, and you learn medicine under a guidance of a teacher, then you can operate, no problem. And one is going to trust. So similarly, if we want to understand yoga, we have to come to the authorized line authorized line. Our spiritual master is coming in a, what is called in parampara, the cyclic succession. His spiritual master, like you see here on the altar, all these four personalities, these are the last gurus, last spiritual masters through which this knowledge is passed on. And the knowledge itself, this transcendental knowledge starts, that line starts with Krishna 5,000 years ago. It's not a joke. This is not a joke. It's really a bona fide, authorized. So a real yogi, he understands that I should control my senses. If I let my senses loose, if I enjoy on the bodily plane, and I never inquire, why am I supposed to die? Why these laws are imposed upon me? I'm a free soul. I want freedom. I'm independent. I don't want to be imprisoned by some dogmas, by some limitations, and so on and so on. So if I'm sincere, I should pursue that freedom, that life of freedom. And then you come to yoga. Yes, I should control my senses. The more I indulge in material sense gratification, the more I have to work hard to get money, to get so many things, right? And we don't want to work. Working is unnatural. Working unnecessary is natural. See, just like we here, we're actually chanting and dancing the whole day. We're preaching the glories of Krishna around Montreal, and we're maintained by Krishna. We're maintained by Krishna. Some or other, the prasadam, the food stuff, is coming. The shelter we have. But as you can see here in this apartment, there is no TV. There is no unnecessary necessities, so-called unnecessary necessities, things we've manufactured. We don't need them for our survival. But we're manufacturing and working hard to get them. See? So a real yogi, he understands, oh, this is bondage. This is bondage. Let me come to freedom, freedom life. So he controls his senses. And he becomes free from so many unnecessary engagements. And then his mind is clear. Then he can think of the real questions. Why am I here? What is the absolute? You know, why there's so many religions? What is the actual path? How do I understand? If I am imperfect, how do I understand the perfect? These are the real questions we should solve. If we solve these questions, then the minute questions will be automatically solved. Just like if you want to solve your 1 million problem, sorry, if you, what is that an analogy? You want to solve your
$10 problem.
So what do you do?
If you get $1 million, then everything is included.
That's right. If you get $1 million, all your $10 problem are solved. You see? So this Krishna consciousness, there are many types of yoga, but this Bhakti Yoga, like Alex said, this is Bhakti Yoga. Why is it the topmost? Because we actually, after controlling the senses, we don't indulge in unnecessary pleasures. We actually engage the senses in the real eternal pleasure. We don't deny the pleasure of the senses. But we enjoy with Krishna.
Yeah.
Just like the eyes, they want to see beautiful form. Right? It's natural. Beautiful girl, beautiful boy. So we actually, instead of meditating on these temporary bodies, which are actually is simply illusion, you know, these bodies are actually very ugly. You know, you pull out the skin from that beautiful body, and it's very, oh my God, it's illusion. Right? It's temporary. You know, every body is going to dwindle, and they're going to turn into ugly little grandpas and grandmas. Right? So we meditate on the real form, like here, Lord Chaitanya or Krishna. All these pictures here, these are these are not ordinary pictures. They're actually meant to engage our original pure senses in eternal pleasure. Same thing with music, right? Like you saw. We don't deny music and dance and ecstasy and so on and so on. But we chant for Krishna's pleasure, not for our pleasure. Like, look at me, I'm the best singer in the world. For Krishna's pleasure, we chant. And in this way, the senses are controlled. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm actually pleasing Krishna. And at the same time, so pleasing, so nice. Right? And in this way, all the senses, the tongue, we cook nice, like you're going to taste. We meditate on pleasure of Krishna. When we cook, we meditate on Krishna, how he's going to enjoy our offering. We offer him, and then he blesses the food, and it becomes spiritualized. You know, by taking that food, it's very delicious, vegetarian, and at the same time, it frees you from all karma, from all the impurities. The mind is so much disturbed. I'm sure in school, you know, sometimes you want to study, and the mind is so much disturbed you can't focus even, right? So these are all like contaminations on the mind, like karmic impurities. And we can purify these things. We can purify. We can come to clear consciousness. You know. So we don't say deny the senses, but engage the senses. Engage whatever you do. Actually, it's not necessary to join the temple. You can be an anthropologist. You can be a musician. You can be anything you like, but do it for Krishna. Somehow or other, connect whatever you're good at. Connect it to Krishna, and then your occupation becomes the supreme meditation, the best meditation in the world. All we're trying to do is, we're trying to please Krishna, serve Krishna. And Krishna, he doesn't mind. He's very open-minded. Whatever you want to serve him, he doesn't care. Because he doesn't need anything. Right? He has everything. He's all-conscious. He's, actually, there's a statement in the Shastra, it is mentioned that thousands of goddesses of fortune, she's in charge of the money issue. So thousands of these goddesses of fortune, they're serving Krishna. So he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need our service. But when we, on our own accord, if we serve Krishna, then we become very much pleased. Because we are parts and parcels of Krishna. We're not separated from Krishna. Even though we might forget that we have connection with Krishna, we're never separated. And just like you water the root of a tree, automatically the branches and leaves are nourished. Similarly, if you love Krishna, then automatically that love comes back to you, comes back into your heart. And that's a real pleasure. That's what we're looking for. That pleasure will never go away. Yeah. So we'll stop here. Are there any questions?
Sure. I would very much like to stay, but I'm seeing it's getting dark and I have a long way back, and I'm just starting to get worried.
Okay, we can stop.
Okay. I was wondering if there's any chance, because my professor would like us to, the person that we are communicating with, if I could show you a form on why I'm here.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm just going to close the class.
Sure.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutri Vishnu Bhakti Damani Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Kurvani Indrajari Nani Shri Krishna Shri Banjadatva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You can back us some prashadam.
Sure.
Yes, yes.
So, just so you know,